Hi, this is the second in our 9/11 series, and today we're looking at middlemen. I'm sitting here in a hotel, very much missing my wife, but doing some good ministry, facilitating a singles retreat on healthy relationships. And you might say that I'm kind of a go-to guy for information and counseling and training on how to make the most of their future relationships. This passage we're going to look at examines the effectiveness of go-to guys or middlemen. This week we had the very tragic shooting in Tucson of the congresswoman and several others that died, and many that were injured, and some blamed security that there was no middleman that stopped it. So what about the middleman? In Exodus 9:11 it says that the magicians who were middlemen to the Pharaoh tried to do some great things for him, could not even stand before Moses because boils were covering them and all the other Egyptians. God had sent 10 plagues on the Egyptians to tell Pharaoh, "Let my people go." And this passage is in the 6th of those 10 plagues. The magicians were supposed to be middlemen, but they didn't have what they needed to be effective. The middleman's got to be powerful, he's got to be gracious, and he has to be merciful to truly be effective for someone. When God sent the first 3 of these plagues, he was showing Pharaoh that he had power over him. He said, "I will show you that I am the Lord." And the middlemen had some power. They could turn some of the water into blood. They could summon some of the frogs. They could create some gnats, it seemed, or raise up some gnats. But they couldn't withdraw them. They only had some power. The middlemen were not at all gracious. In the next 3 plagues, God showed that he had a special love for the Israelites, and he didn't strike any of them living in the land of Goshen, but he struck all the Egyptians. The middlemen in these 3 plagues didn't even show up. Look back at the 3rd plague. It says that they were convinced this is the hand of God. They didn't even show up in the 4th and 5th plague. And in the 6th plague, it says they couldn't even stand before Moses. The 3rd thing we need a middleman to be is merciful. God said in the 7th, 8th, and 9th plague that he could have wiped out Pharaoh and all his people by that time, but he didn't. And yes, he did take the firstborn of every one, but he didn't wipe them out. In the 10th plague, there is the death of the firstborn, who was taken. But God gave the life of his one and only Son so that we could live. How's your middleman? Who are you looking to for hope? Go to Jesus Christ. May God bless you. And just to be very clear, I can't be their middleman either. The people on this retreat, I'm going home to my wife. I can't stand between them and their problems, or between them and their solutions. I'm one man. Jesus can be with you always. He has all strength, all wisdom, all the love that you need.